Hello everyone and welcome back to Grow Leafy with Alethea. Today in this video we are going to be talking about amending the soil. You need healthy soil and sometimes you need to amend the soil because there's some things that may need to be done to help you get on that journey to have healthy soil. So I have a couple of raised beds behind me, but I also have two others in front of me that you can't see. But there are 4 raised beds. And there was something that I needed to do to my raised beds to amend the soil so that I can have healthy soil for my plants. Now, if you've been watching my videos, you know that earlier this year, or actually it was at the end of the fall, I had to do a soil test. I did a soil test on this raised bed and then my other raised beds that look similar to this one, and then even my soil, because I knew that I had wanted to start growing some fruit trees. And so I did that, and then I found out that I had too much organic matter. And to me, that was shocked about that because, you know, I'm trying to have some healthy soil. So why not put a lot of organic matter, which is compost, which I grow compost. Let me see if I can show you in the back. You see back there? Where is it? So anyways, it's back there somewhere. But I had to just do a little bit of changes. So I had so much organic material in there. It was in such a high level that the soil laboratory basically said that I need to stop adding compost and change it up, add some topsoil to my raised bed mixture just to balance it out. Okay, I guess there's too much good of a good thing that you can have. I still love my compost. I'm still composting, but I'm just being mindful of how much that I mix into it. All right, so that's the first thing that I did. I'm gonna take you over to this extra pile of, basically it's a garden mix that I got over at a landscape company, and I got it for a really cheap, inexpensive price. Not cheap as in bad, just inexpensive. So this garden soil mixture is a mixture of shredded pine fines, sand, compost, and topsoil. And I was really excited. It felt good. And then let me show you what happened. I first started putting it in all of my pots and raised beds. When it's wet, it just felt so muddy. And then it felt dry on the top. And then I would see cracking across my raised beds, and I was like, oh my goodness, I just had a feeling that something needed to be balanced even in this garden mix that I purchased that is for the purpose of gardening. And so I did a couple of things. The first thing I did was, let me do a little bit more investigation on this. What do I need to do to improve my soil so I can have healthy soil? Because if you don't have healthy soil, then your plants, they just seem to struggle a little bit more. And that's what I've learned about healthy soil. Now, plants can grow pretty much in anything, because I have had tomato plants grow underneath some rocks that were off in an area that I didn't even touch. So maybe the true error is human beings putting our hands on things that messes up, but let's not even get into that. But anyways, so in this garden pot, I had decided, let me go check out some other landscape companies or nurseries that have bulk soil in the masses like that may have different qualities and type of soil. So I went to start testing out different places, and I tested out different places. In some places I found rubber and plastic. Excuse me, there is not supposed to be rubber and plastic in compost or in your garden soils. That's not supposed to happen. If you notice that, do not purchase anything from that place. So then I went to another place and I felt their soil, and it was actually a nursery, and it felt good. It felt really nice. But then when I felt it, it just seemed very, it wasn't muddy. It was just super sticky, but still the texture of it just seemed better than what I had. And out of the, let's say 5 different places that I went, that one I would grade it as the best of all. But I still may need to do some kind of slight amending to it. This garden soil, even though it does seem still tough on the outside, it's not as hard as the other one, but it still looks very similar. My hypothesis is that there is a high level of clay. And after speaking with another garden expert, they also drew the same conclusion. This is the next raised bed that I'm actually working on. And this is the one that has, look at that. I already went ahead, I should have left it here so you could see how chunky these pieces were on top, but I took this and just basically I was like, wow, it was so dry, there was so much cracking on top. And so I'm gonna add 3 layers of this compost. Compost is a great amendment to clay soils. That's what we have here in our growing zone, and there's clay everywhere and it gets so hard and so tough. Compost also is a wonderful way to add nutrition back into the soil to make it healthy soil. The microorganisms love it because it gives them something just to gnaw on and to chew on, and if it's properly composted, hopefully you won't have too many, but you know, it's gonna draw all those healthy microorganisms that you do want in your soil to have healthy soil anyways, because they really help to feed your roots. I'm excited to do this because I know the benefits of composting. It's healthy, that's wonderful, and I grow my own. And if you want to see some of my videos on how to make your own compost, make sure you click on one of these videos here that I post up here, because it's the best thing ever. And I love it, and I love it so much. Smells good. It doesn't smell stinky or smelly or anything like that. If it smells bad, then your compost is not ready to be utilized. You don't want it to be smelling. Then it hasn't taken the time that it needs to break down. And if it smells, it probably did not have much carbon in it to do the balancing of the composting. And so it may take a little bit longer for it to really balance back out. So I'm going to fill this up with this. Then I'm going to mix it all in together. And then I'm going to add in a thick layer of mulch. I've also got hemp mulch. I also got wood chips. I have all kinds of things to cover it up. But I am going to use that nice fine mulch that I was showing you, which is a very fine texture of a mulch. A lot of times mulch is very chunky and a lot of big pieces like this, but very fine. It's like, I don't know if it's like triple shredded. It's something like that. They said either it's double or triple shredded. And then I'm going to plant actually an herb garden here. I have a lot of perennial herbs that need to move out of my regular raised bed so I can put in my annuals. If you're dealing with a lot of clay soil, think about adding some organic matter to it. There we are with that organic matter. So organic matter does serve a great purpose, but it's just all in balance. So even though you're paying to get something from a professional location that says that it's a perfect blend, it's this, it's that, everyone's backyards, everyone's raised beds, everyone's soil, everyone's gardening location is different. No one is the same. And so you still may need to do some amendment. You may also need to check your pH level. Not also, but you should check your pH level depending on what you're planting. Because I'm wanting to plant some berries here, and some of my berries are very acidic. And so I'm going to have to add something to it to help drop the pH level to between 5.5 to 6.5 and keep it maintained, because pH level does change and compost is more neutral type of pH. It's a balance usually around between 6.0 to 7, or really 7 is more neutral with compost. And so I'm gonna have to monitor that. But that's just another way that I can kind of change and amend it. But you just got to find out what works for you, what will be best for your growing area, what will be best for your plants. All right, so that's it. And I hope this video was helpful and that you learned a little bit about the importance of amending your soil. And remember, amendments for you might look a little bit different, but you just need to find out what is going on with your soil so that you can amend it, so that you can have healthy soil from this day forward. All right, remember to grow leafy, and see you all next time. Bye.